So I've watched the second season of Titans on Netflix. It takes a little while for the show to get up here in Canada, but I watched all 13 of the episodes that are in the second season, and I have come away completely underwhelmed by this season of the show. This happens quite a bit with some of the shows that you really dig. They have off seasons, then they sort of find their way back and they give you a good season. I quite enjoyed the first season, the debut of this show. Obviously, a big part of the spark on the show was that it was so controversial and there were lots of swear words and there was tons of violence. We had that infamous Fuck Batman trailer that dropped just before the first season came out and everybody's like, oh my God, Robin swore.
Fuck Batman.
So there is a tremendous amount of that again in the second season. It's unbelievable how many curse words all of these superheroes are throwing around.
I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do.
I don't think you have a choice.
In this season, we've got a bunch of different villains. First up out of the gate, we get Trigon, which was the big bad crescendo at the end of the first season. There was a human form of Trigon that we got to see, and he's back again in this first episode of season 2. But we also get the demonic form of Trigon with the 4 eyes that are all blinking in sync. And it was a little weird. It was like when I was looking at the Trigon character, it's like, is my vision okay? It just feels like I'm seeing double vision with all of these eyeballs. But that's the character, and I thought they did a pretty good job with that. The CG is certainly not movie quality. It's certainly not, you're not going to mistake the show for stuff that we're seeing in Star Wars or the Avengers or anything like that. But good on the showmakers to kind of aspire to bring Trigon to the screen. That's a pretty big deal. He's much smaller than I thought he was going to be, though. He's just kind of human-sized. And of course, he is Raven's father, and Raven inherits a lot of really cool abilities. And I actually liked the growth of Raven through the season. She actually does become a powerhouse, and you can kind of see that she's got this ability to connect with all kinds of interdimensional forces, and she's got tremendous power, and she was really coming onto her own. But that's kind of, we just get like this kind of conclusion to season 1 at the beginning of season 2, and Trigon's gone, and Trigon's such a massive character in the Teen Titans mythology that it just felt like, that's it? That's all we're getting? Okay, bye, Trigon. It was great to see you. And then we get other bad guys like Dr. Light, which is terrible in the show. He's got just this ridiculous, like, homemade cosplay, aluminum foil type costume, and he's kind of sucking light powers in, and he's blasting everybody. He swears like a trucker, and he's just blasting everybody, and he's incredibly violent. I like the ferocity of the performer. That was fine, but the character was lame, and the costume was lame. And the one standout thing that I would say about this season is the introduction of Iain Glen as an older Bruce Wayne. We don't really get to see him be the Batman, but we do get to see, a sense of the cool and the control and the intelligence. And there are some pretty cool, twisty, psychological back-and-forth conversations between Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson that I really enjoyed. I thought that the Donna Troy character was wasted. I thought that Gar was trying to be in his own John Hughes movie. He's the Changeling. Love that character. I didn't love that he only ever changed into a tiger. I just thought, come on, this guy can do anything. Let's see some stuff. And then we get a new Deathstroke. And, people that have been watching me review TV shows for a while know what a huge fan I am of Manu Bennett and what he brought to Deathstroke in the Arrow show. Excellent characterization and real sense of who the character was and why he was. But in this show, Deathstroke is played by Isai Morales, who was Richie Valens' brother in La Bamba. And if you had told me back then that guy was going to play Deathstroke in the future in a Titans TV show, and he's good. He's a great actor, actually. He's a very competent actor, and he definitely embodies the hatred and the fury that he feels for the Titans because of what they do to family members. We also get, Isai Morales' son, Jericho, and daughter, Rose, in the show. So the Titans family grows quite a bit. I'm not going to spoil any of the other characters that we're going to see in the show, but you're going to see other characters that you've seen in the comics before. They did a pretty good job with Deathstroke in terms of like giving him palpable furor and the messiness of his family life, all of that stuff. But it just didn't resonate. It wasn't as powerful, I thought, as what they did on Arrow. I also thought that the sort of origin story of Deathstroke was just like these flash cuts of him getting injected with goo, and he's going to become like some maniac super soldier. His abilities are cool, but it's just been done better, And we got an awesome Deathstroke and Batman fight in Batman Arkham Origins. We saw the little glimpse of Deathstroke in the DCEU. I think it was at the end of Justice League. I'm trying to kind of block out some of those DCEU movies out of my memory. I think it's admirable that they brought Deathstroke into the fray here, but the show overall is kind of a waste. And I'll tell you the big reason why. Everybody is just bitching at each other for the whole show.
Get out of my way.
You're in my way.
There's a lot of, young person angst in this show, and that was a part of the comic for sure. But, what this season really boils down to for me is that everybody fights with everybody, and the team gets broken up, and there's this camp where this person hates this person, and that person hates this person.
What is up with everyone here? You people need some kind of super strength to deal with all your problems.
The entirety of the season is everybody grappling with demons, and there, some lame manifestations as to why everybody gets ripped apart. You just don't feel like, well, why would everybody abandon each other and walk away because of that? It was just an accident. Why would everybody hate each other? And why are they punching Dick Grayson in the mouth? And why do they use the name Dick as this kind of derogatory insult over and over again? Because that's what it sounds like. Everybody's mad at Dick Grayson for this whole goddamn show, and so everybody's saying, yeah, what about that Dick? Come on, Dick. What are you going to say about that, Dick? You lied to me, Dick. And it grated on me. It's like, come on. I mean, it's too easy a reach. You're always mad at Dick Grayson and you're calling him a dick over and over again. It's just like, okay, it hurt my ears and it hurt my feelings because I love Dick Grayson. I love Robin. And I actually like Brenton Thwaites as this character. He does a good job embodying the character. He's got the physicality. He's got the emotional kind of range. It's not like the show doesn't have great elements. It does. I think all of the actors are solid. I think all of the characters are a lot of fun. I just didn't like that they were bitching at each other for the whole season, and we didn't really get to see them come together and fight as a team and show off why we have come to the show. We want to see the Titans fight together and be together and dismantle some of these opponents and fight off some of these obstacles as a team. And I know that there always is, in team-based fiction, an element of the team having to disband and find their way back together again. That's how you amp up the drama. It just felt like we were on this loop through this season all the way through.
We're done.
There is a little bit of a hopefulness at the end of season 2, and I want there to be more. And the show has been made with, definitely a love for the subject material. There's some great looking shots and some okay effects. There's a lot to build on here, but season 2, God, very disappointing. My mind was wandering through big chunks of these episodes. I just felt like these poor actors just having to kind of constantly be snippy at each other. It's just like, oh God, I'm so over it. So I leave Titans season 2 crestfallen and yet still hopeful for more. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10.